Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video, I'm going to review the Season 2 premiere Smash. Now, if you're wondering how I saw it, basically, iTunes put the first episode up, because when it airs on TV, it's going to be 2 hours. Okay, they put the first hour of it up for pre-air, so you can actually watch it right now. You can even pause this right now as I'm speaking. Just know there will be spoilers in this. Now, before I get into the actual episode, I'm going to say I had a lot of problems with the first season of Smash. I did. And I'm going to tell you why. The first episode seemed like it was just going to be a show at a Broadway show. And then they got all this stuff with affairs and sex and soap opera-ish stuff, drug addiction. You shouldn't have this stuff on a Broadway show, and a show that's a musical. This show should have been about the Broadway show, getting the show to Broadway, getting it past the previews, which it was, but they had all this stuff that I didn't care about. Plus, they had the most unsensitive characters that were male. Every male character, unless they were gay, was insensitive. And I hated that. This season, though, really looking forward to it. I heard they made a lot of changes and that they were going to focus more on the music. And I'm really looking forward to Jeremy Jordan come on because I think he is a fantastic Broadway actor. I'm really glad they're bringing more Broadway people on. Jennifer Hudson, too. I hear there's going to be Nikki Blonsky. Krista Rodriguez is on now as a series regular. And I gotta say, I loved it. I loved the Season 2 premiere. And if they keep making the show like this, it's going to be great. Now, I'm going to say that I did really like the last episode of the first season. I felt that was actually where the show was at its peak. I was really hoping it could be as good as that. This episode was better than that. The episode basically starts out with us seeing the show, Bombshell, going across tours. And we have seen a very different side of Karen in this episode. She's completely ignoring Ivy, and we know why, because Ivy did admit that if you guys did not see the first season, Ivy admitted that she did have an affair with Karen's boyfriend, Dev. And ever since then, she hasn't spoken to her ever since. You see Ivy want to use the elevator, and Karen's like, oh, just use the elevator over there. I thought Karen was going to be a bitch, but now I can kind of understand where she's going. Now, this episode kind of asks you, do you want to be on Karen's side or do you want to be on Ivy's side? Because let's look at both sides here. Because this was one of the big plots, and I'm going to keep talking about that. But basically what happened was Karen was invited to perform a few songs for the show, Bombshell, to, advertise in the previews. Because it is, she gets to choose 3 backup singers, and she does not choose Ivy. And, this is the point where you're like, should I go for Karen or should I choose Ivy? Well, with Ivy, what ends up happening with Ivy is that she's very much, you see that she's very desperate. She's doing whatever she can to make sure she's part of the show. And she tells Julia that, and Julia, I really like how Julia is kind of going to be a friend to her on this season, on how she says, sometimes if you stop asking for things, you're going to get it eventually. And maybe if you'd stop asking about it, you might just get it. And I like how she said, if you stop being so mean to people and trying to be the center of attention, you might just get it. Things don't always go, things can work out better. And she kind of tells her how, she has not made up with Karen, and she tells her how, oh, I'm doing fine with my husband. Julia says how she's doing fine with Frank now. And basically, Ivy, then it doesn't work for her. Derek ends up dropping her out of the show. And at this point, I was really rooting for Ivy. Karen was here, Ivy was here. So really, I'm rooting for both of them now. I think they really want us to see a more vulnerable side of Ivy. Last year, we kind of saw the bitchy, very much high-strung Ivy, and this year we see a very vulnerable, ambitious, desperate Ivy, which I really like. The other thing I really like is, as I said, they're focusing more on the show. The way they're doing this is that every plot is somewhere in the show. we're not seeing their personal lives. I don't care about the producers' personal lives. Basically, what we find out, though, is that the show, Bombshell, is getting horrible reviews. And because of this, Eileen's ex-husband ends up selling the show, and they lose all their money, but Eileen ends up getting it back, which is great. But basically, now they have to start over because Michael Swift has now left, and now they have to find new Joe DiMaggio. And in comes Jeremy Jordan, who I absolutely love in this show. He is playing this character who really, he's very much, he's one of the first male characters that I think is actually going to be a really nice character. He's trying to, he's a struggling music artist in a bar. He works in a bar, he's tending in a bar. It's kind of like, kind of remind me of Ellen Stardust Diner, where he was, he's taking a job, he is, the piano, he's performing there after late nights, and how in Ellen Stardust Diner, those are Broadway hopefuls. He's a Broadway hopeful, so he's kind of like Karen in the first season on how she was waitressing and now she's not waitressing. And yeah, overall though, what happens is they do find him singing, and that was really great when he sang. That's actually how the episode ended. But the other thing I want to talk about is Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer Hudson is a great character. Veronica Moore, love this character. I really hope they keep her on for more than 2 episodes. I heard she's only on for 2 episodes. Please give her more. She is amazing in this show, especially, talking to Karen. She'll be like a mentor to Karen, which I really like. And I also heard that she's going to kind of help Ivy, too, which I really like. So I'm really enjoying Jennifer Hudson's character as well. Okay, the next thing we have to talk about is the plot with Julia. Basically, she says everything's going well with her and Frank, and this is how they end up dropping his character from the show. Because as we know, 4 characters got fired. He was one of them, which I'm glad because his character annoyed me. Okay? He was a good character, but now he just annoys me. And basically, what ends up happening with this is that they're not doing well. They're having marriage problems, and basically he just leaves her, and we don't know why. And the great thing about this, though, is Tom decides that, okay, I want to get my old songwriting partner back. I'm going to move it. He moves in with Julia, and he says that he's going to help her with Leo. He's going to try to care for her and tend for her, basically, and she's really going through a hard time. I mean, let's think about her life. She had an affair with a man who she completely regrets having an affair with. She almost had a baby. I'm thinking it was like maybe a fake pregnancy, because they said they dropped the pregnancy storyline, yet they talked about the affair, so I don't really know. And then she loses her husband, so she's really going through a tough time, so I really think she needs this. Now, getting back to the thing with Ivy, we do find out that Ivy almost committed suicide. She said she did, but then she thought, does she really want to do this? Is it really worth it? And it wasn't, and I really loved how they explained that it wasn't worth it. I really love that. Now, other great thing about this episode. 5 songs. Binga, banga, boonga, banga, binga. 5 songs. When last season, we had 3 songs. This season has 5 songs. It's going to be like Glee. I really hope so. I'm really glad they're focusing more on the music this season. Also, I forgot to talk about Krista Rodriguez. Fantastic! I love that they're giving Karen a friend and someone that we can actually see. Because, she has friends like Jessica and the other background dancers. But we don't really see them as much. And this season, we're going to see Krista Rodriguez be a really great friend to her. And it looks like, as the previews go, she's kind of going to start to develop the feelings for Jeremy Jordan's character. And I'm really hoping we're going to get a Jeremy Jordan and Catherine McPhee duet. I'm really looking forward to that. We did get a Veronica Moore and Karen duet, which I really liked. Overall, this season premiere was perfect. It was perfect. There was nothing wrong with it. It was perfect because this was everything I wanted the first season to be and more. Now, there are a lot of similarities and differences between the show now. First, it's much more family. Because in the last season, they talked about sex. They talked about it a lot. This season, they say, instead of saying sex, they say, you know. They're very innocent now with this show. Which I really like. Because I know a lot of young kids actually watch this show. Like a lot of young kids watch Glee, so they changed Glee. But now they don't. They didn't change Glee. Sorry. But basically, this season premiere was great. Also, the poster's different. The poster looks completely different, which I love. And I'm just really looking forward to this season. It was a great season premiere. Really hoping the next episode is just as good as this. Let's cross our fingers. So this is one of the shows you can expect for me to be reviewing on this channel. And Smash is one of them. Cannot wait to see the second hour of this. So if you have not done this yet, go on to iTunes. Hit the download button on season 2, and then get the first episode. It's worth it. Now, let's talk about the songs. First song that Karen sang, I felt it sounded too much like Let Me Be Your Star and Don't Forget Me. I liked it, but it sounded too much like those two songs, and it was not my favorite song of the episode. My favorite song of the episode was Jeremy Jordan's song, Broadway, Here I Come. I can see that being a huge single, a huge hit on iTunes. That is going to be a huge hit when it comes out. Whenever it comes out on iTunes, it's going to be a huge hit. I can also see Karen and Veronica Moore's duet definitely being a huge hit. Their duet on Broadway, you know, that was the title of this episode, but on Broadway, it was fantastic. Overall, though, this episode of Smash was absolutely perfect. Everything I wanted in the episode. 10 out of 10. Really hope the rest of the season is just as good as this. And let me know what you guys think of Smash. Do you enjoy Smash more now? Did you like it more in the first season? Do you like that it's focusing more on the music? Because I personally don't like all the soap. I didn't really like all the other storylines that had nothing to do with this. Do you like that they're getting rid of all the bad male characters? Do you want to see them back? Just let me know anything you want to know about Smash. And that's it for this review. Hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys next time. And the next video I'm going to be doing is also going to be a TV show review, because I will be watching tonight the Vampire Diaries mid-season premiere. I'm definitely going to be watching that, so stay tuned for a review of that. Bye!